A new rumor says Rachel Zegler is getting back into the Hollywood game with a musical. That's coming on the heels of the latest news that her low-budget dramedy still doesn't have a distributor. But hope springs eternal. Can this career be revived? Will Zegler see another day in Tinseltown? And what's coming on the way for her career? Hello, folks. Welcome back for one and all, where we heed the call of understanding entertainment. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do, and we do it with a zeal that even the Holly Weirds can feel. As we dive in, click the like button, drop a comment, and ladies and gentlemen, it's back to Disney's Snow White. She's not feeling all right, but she's ready for a comeback in Hollywood. It's resuscitation time in Isle Zegler, and here she is, Rach. She's bringing the Rach back. Comicbookmovie.com a long time ago was telling us that they were eyeballing a way to get her into musicals from Disney to try to revivify her career. A new young adult adaptation of The Phantom of the Opera is in development for the Disney streaming service, and Snow White star Rachel Zegler is rumored to be in line to star as Christine. We think this got canceled after the Snow White situation. Not a surprise, eh? But things are still underway, and now in the modern era, The Hollywood Reporter is saying that Rachel Zegler is in line to get an award. Where's she going to get an award after she got kicked out of Hollyweird? Well, over in the UK, Rachel Zegler, Cate Blanchett, and Bryan Cranston land nominations for UK's, do I pronounce this Olivier? Are these the Olivier Awards, guys? Everybody knows here. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it would be. Sure. Lawrence Olivier.
Yeah, Olivier Awards. Right. Yeah,
They're so important, nobody talks about them.
Well, it's England, so you would expect it to be the Oliver Awards, but it's not. It's the Olivier, because, they like the Frenchies.
Someone with Tourette's attends.
Yeah. BAFTA me, please. Britain's equivalent of the Tony Awards unveiled the full list of nominees, which may or may not include a certain marmalade-loving bear. Paddington will be there. You know he will be. Rachel Zegler, Bryan Cranston, Tom Hiddleston, and Cate Blanchett are among the Hollywood stars who have scored Olivier Award nominations. The UK equivalent of the Tony Awards, celebrating the best and brightest talent leading the country's colorful theater scene, will crown its winners at a ceremony on April 12, 2026, broadcast by the BBC and hosted by the Traitors and Ted Lasso star Nick Mohammed. Snow White actress, she loves when you reference that. Snow White actress, she loves it so much. Snow White actress Zegler was recognized for her viral turn in Jamie Lloyd's Evita, playing Argentinian First Lady Eva Perón. She stirred the city by performing live to passerbys on the London Palladium balcony every night. Blanchett has scored an Olivier Award nod for The Seagull, and Rosamund Pike is also nominated in the Best Actress category for Inter Alia. All right, so Zegler is she's up for an award, and she's got some competition. Let's go down here and we'll find it for you, okay? She is in for not Best Actress. No, where is she? Best Actress in a Musical. She's going up against Katie Brabin, Into the Woods, Danielle Fiamagna, and Georgina Onora for Brigadoon, Jane Krakowski, Here We Are, Jenna Russell, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, and Rachel Zegler in Evita. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a plan in place to get Rachel Zegler back into Hollywood. And the only way they seem able to do so is through musicals, because I know culture will disagree, but she can sing. Now, she's attached right now to a comedy that has no distributor, so that's not going so well. But a musical, maybe. And folks, here's where we're going with this. Guess what? We are now hearing that she is going to possibly be cast in a musical for The Portrait of Dorian Gray, starring with Austin Butler. Now, this goes in the rumor and scoops category, so take it with a grain of salt. But this might be the way that Rachel Zegler gets back into the Hollywood halls of Hollyweird with The Picture of Dorian Gray, and we're hearing that she is being potentially signed on to play Sybil Vane, who is a young actress, love interest, whatever, of Dorian that would be played by Austin Butler.
I thought she might be playing the late stages of The Portrait.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? So
mean.
Rachel Zegler with Austin, that might work out with Austin Butler. I mean, he's a hot star, right? Can they revivify Rachel Zegler? Paul, I go to you. Why would they even want to at this point? Why not find somebody new? I don't want to be mean to her, but maybe the time passed.
This is a mystery, except for the fact that people in the know, and I use that in quotes, maybe she's got a following on social media that is such that it compels producers to keep searching her out. I mean, has anyone here checked just what her social media following is?
She has some following, but she's also went rather silent as of late on social media,
Right.
which I think is a great idea for her, honestly, if she's going to do a sort of a career resurrection. I think, I don't want to get ahead of our skis too much and claim that we've scooped this, but if she wins this award over in England, and then they pair that up with the announcement that she's going to be in Guillermo del Toro's next film, starring with Austin Butler, then, that's a nice little play for her. But she's still going to be coming from A-list celebrity that she was for all of a year to barely scraping by to get anything in Hollywood. So,
well, there's two factors here that we're ignoring. Is that for sure she would have had to audition for those roles. Okay, so she doesn't have the status to just walk in and get a role. If someone like Guillermo del Toro wants her in a production, then she would have auditioned, and he must have been impressed by her work and the fact that she's now popping up on things, notwithstanding her reputation, which they should take into consideration. Obviously, she's been hitting it out of the ballpark in the rehearsals. I mean, in the auditions.
absolutely.
Terrible in that one superhero movie, the second edition of Shazam.
She did not play well, Paul, in Hunger Games. It was the lowest performing of the franchise. She didn't do so well in Snow White, I would say, although she gave it her best, but it was a doomed movie from the start. But she also has put her co-stars in danger with some of her comments. So I don't know why they have any kind of affinity at all for her. I don't know why they would want to bring her back, but maybe you're right. Maybe she's just killing it. Vash, one of the things that seemed to have killed a lot of her movement, though, in the theater in the UK was when her understudy actually outshone her in that moment when Zegler could not continue to perform, and the understudy got a standing applause, and nobody could stand down on it. They were so excited for how well she had performed. And then Zegler was not too pleased, I would say.
Yeah, I remember that story, and I do remember that she wasn't too pleased, because you got to think, it's all about her. She's a self-admitted narcissist, I do believe. I know she may have been saying that in passing as a joke or something, but I think there's a little glimmer of truth there. It's kind of sad that Snow White did as bad as it did, because it kind of undercut all the cachet of Mark Platt, who, you remember, flew down and tried to convince her, please take these social media posts down right before this movie comes out. We need hundreds of millions of dollars even to make our money back. And we know what happened there. But Mark Platt might have had a little bit more cachet had that movie done maybe even just a little bit better and said, hey, you'll never work in this town again. And maybe that would have actually worked. Instead, it looks like we're going to be saddled with Rachel Zegler for the foreseeable future. And that's, I want everybody to do well. There's no question about that. But Rachel Zegler strikes me as somebody who maybe doesn't want everybody around her to do well. If you can catch my meaning.
Yeah, I'm with you. So is there any reason to bring back Zegler at this point? Or, does she bring anything to the table that's extra that is beyond any other actress they could find? I just don't.
She's recently won a Razzie.
Yeah, I would say from a business standpoint, she's probably not a good person to work with. From an ideological standpoint, she's everything that they want. She's young. She has a social media following. She's very clearly socialist. She's very clearly anti-Zionist. She's ideologically everything that Hollywood would hope for, and if they can make it happen, then they have a lot of their own little personal quirks confirmed through whatever success that she gets.
I hate to push back on that, Jonas. I'm just because you're right. I mean, there's a certain group of people she fits in with in Hollywood, but I think the studios have recognized, and as they're being acquired by others, also recognize that that's not the most popular opinion to have if you want to do business as a studio. So I think a lot of these people that are so politically aligned that it basically is a defining element of their character, that maybe, just maybe, the shift is enough to keep people like Zegler, kind of nuclear waste at this point.
I think if we're talking $150 million movie, $200 million movie, yes, they would stay away from Rachel Zegler. I think if they're talking a Guillermo del Toro movie that will be mostly for consideration in award season, I think the case there is a little bit more clear as to why you would incorporate someone like this. I don't think she's completely done in Hollywood. I think she's done being profitable in and of herself. She's proven that she's not a draw. But I think that these are people that have shown that they are sure that Hoppers has heavy environmental messages right now, and Michael Moore still continues to make documentaries that are wildly propagandistic. So there are movies you make for money, and then there are movies you make because you really want to feel good about yourself by making other people feel bad. And I think that Rachel Zegler is the perfect actress for sticking a finger in the eye of the part of America that you're trying to teach a lesson to.
And
There are
maybe
movies that you. Oh, please,
maybe she
Ron,
doesn't
go ahead.
cost the studios that much anymore. I mean, she certainly didn't elevate her value. She got paid $2 million for Snow White. Gal Gadot got paid $15 million, and certainly Rachel Zegler lowered her value after that movie. So maybe maybe that's why she's in consideration. We don't know about her agent, her management, and all of those types of things, the people that do all the negotiations. If she can be brought in for far less money than somebody else, that's, can be helpful to a studio's bottom line, especially like you said, if it's not a, $100 million budget film, if it's a $5, $10, $50 million budget film, but when I see Rachel, I think that if she keeps her mouth shut when she's not acting, and maybe you just take pictures of her and that works out, then it's fine. But she just, I don't think that she has the talent level to compete with a lot of the great Hollywood actresses. When you see her on screen, everything that I've seen her in, it's just kind of a letdown. She's just sort of I think Paul said the Shazam movie that she was in. It was like, why she lowered the quality of the film by being in it.
Yeah. Right. Now, I know that a lot of people are debating whether or not these stories are true and what musicals she might be attached to, whether or not she lands in this film, The Portrait of Dorian Gray, whether or not that's a mislead, or whether or not the stories about Disney and the Phantom of the Opera in 2025. What we need to figure out here is, what way does Rachel Zegler have to get back in Hollywood? And the only way that I see is through the musicals. This comedy thing doesn't even have a distributor yet, and she's struggling. Can she fulfill the promise she made? Can Rachel Zegler feed America on the narcissism that she displayed right here? I'll play it one more time just so everybody remembers where Zegler was, where she believes she should be, and can she crawl back to it? We'll see.
The winged victory came to the Louvre.
And it's got audio behind it, folks. We'll have to cancel that one. We'll put it up in a second. I'll get the other one. Hang tight. But Zegler, of course, has high aspirations for herself. She has high thoughts about herself. Here we go. Here's the right one. Put it back up on the screen. Here we go, professional show. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Everyone who hates when I win. The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Culture, you're waiting in line to see the comeback of the century, right?
After, suffering many of her movies, I'm gonna enjoy the dearth of opportunity that she's going to be served.
Nothing like a good old pile of dearth, Culture. Good old pile.
Yep, she has a surfeit of dearth.
I just feel like that has to be a monologue that she's doing for an audition that she still needs to workshop. It's
oh yeah,
so bad.
So bad.
You didn't feel it was true. You didn't get the feeling of
it really
authenticity.
Feels like I saw that monologue many times in many forms when I was in high school in the drama club. That if that's where her acting skill level is right now, that ain't it.
That's why we're wondering, why do they want to bring her back? And folks, it may not be this one, it may not be the next one, but the effort is get her in a musical somewhere somehow. And we'll all go to see Zegler again, I guess, even though that never happened before. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for now, but don't worry. Do not fret. Not yet, for more content is still coming your way 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. What a joy it has been to share our time with you. We hope you feel the same. Adding value to your every single day is our job here, and we take it very seriously. Folks, the only thing we ask in return is that you consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it. Stick it to those algorithms. It's the notification bell. And drop a comment right on down below. And folks, if you'd like to subscribe to our partner YouTube channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and some of those radio stations like Vacation Radio, well, we certainly would appreciate it. Until the next time we have the honor of spending time and being invited into your day, folks, we go on our way saying this: keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.